Hello you guys, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are finally headed to that nursery that I mentioned to you in one of my plant haul videos. It's located in San Jose, California, and it is extraordinary. It is like a little zen paradise, and I cannot wait to go. I cannot wait to show you what they have in store. Hopefully they have some fun things that we can add to our collection, but without further ado, let's go check it out. Also, as a quick side note, the air quality is really smoky where I am living right now, so my contacts are kind of freaking out, and if I start going like cross-eyed or anything, that's why. Alrighty, we made it, and immediately we are greeted with racks full of succulents, which is pretty surprising considering it's not even spring or summer yet. However, they had a wonderful selection of them. They also had some anthuriums on that middle shelf, which, fun fact, I got my first Black Queen anthurium from this location, and for some reason when I first started out in plants, I thought anthuriums were peace lilies, so Alrighty, so let's head inside. Immediately you can see all these beautiful Calathea orbifolias, as well as some massive air plant. What caught my eye initially though, and what catches my eye almost every time I enter the nursery, are these Aralia plants. This is the Aralia Fabian stump, and it is fantastic. Every time I come to this location, I love those twisted little wooden stools, but they're a bit out of my budget, and by a bit I mean a lot. However, they're fantastic, and this nursery does have kind of like a wide selection of random plant pots and plant decor, as you can kind of tell as we're looking around. What I enjoy about their plants is that they have a selection of both basic common house plants as well as some harder to find varieties. So they'll have like the standard peace lily, the corn plant, the ZZ plant, but then they also intermix some harder to find varieties. So like they'll have a variegated peace lily, they'll have some rare bromeliads, they'll have some funky succulents, as you'll see later. Spoiler alert! One plant that always catches my eye is this super mature Monstera deliciosa up here. Oh, hi! I love how huge it is and how split the leaves are. It's just a beautiful thing to look at. Especially because my personal Monstera is so small still after a year with no signs of splitting in sight, so seeing something like that is quite enviable. Ooh, another Aralia Fabian stump, but this one is huge. Look how tall that is. There's also a beautifully long Joy Pothos right there, which is a variety I actually don't have, which is interesting considering how much I love pothos. They are so easy to propagate and gift to people, and they grow so wonderfully and have such few pest issues, and they can go in low light and they're air purifying. I could probably make an entire video just talking about how much I love pothos, but this is not the video. But what did catch my attention are these vines. Yeah. Do you want to try and guess what those air roots are from? Those huge monsteras up there. These are their air roots. How insane is that? I had to take a moment to come here and show you that. I was headed out towards the rest of the nursery, but then I was like, oh, whoa. But now we can continue forwards and I can show you the rest of the nursery. If you follow me on Instagram, then you probably remember when I did a live stream inside of the nursery, I was showing you guys all the different pots that I was looking at because I was trying to decide between a couple of different ones. But I also recorded some footage of the nursery itself and, ooh, candy, and posted it. You can still find it on my profile, actually. We're looking at it right now, but you're able to still check it out if you go to my Instagram profile. You click the little nursery tab, you can see this as well as other nurseries I have visited since then. But now, back to the plants. This is my favorite part of the nursery, is walking through these two plants, because I love that you have to kind of scooch them to the side in order to make your way through. It's how I hope my house to be at some point, which my mom probably would not enjoy very much because my house would look like a jungle, but I personally would feel very satisfied. And I feel like my dogs would like it too. And maybe that guy. They had a beautiful false Aralia over there, which was that tree-looking guy with the long, slender, dark leaves, as well as some younger Monsteras. Ryan found these really fun bird nest snake plants. I love Sansevieria plants in general, and so this was a fun take on it because usually mine are quite tall. They also just got a new shipment of peperomia in, which is always very exciting, and these guys were blooming, which was very cool to see, especially given the fact that it's off season. There's some fantastic African mask plants over there. I have one of those in my house. I love it very much. It's thriving. Highly suggested if you want a unique statement piece that's easy to take care of. Oh my gosh, that's a huge air plant. But moving on, they have a whole other section of peperomia, as well as the aluminum pilia, which is one of my favorite indoor plants. If you look closely, there's a variegated Hoya that we just passed up, as well as this massive fiddle leaf fig. That is like what I hope mine to look like eventually at some point, hopefully in the future. I can only imagine how mature theirs is, like how many years it took for it to look like that. I feel like if you lost a tree like that with such history, it would feel so devastating. Ooh la la, but look at, we have a snake plant corner. Check out all of these fun varieties. I love snake plants so much. Highly suggest them if you're new to the plants. They're so easy to take care of. Just don't overwater them. I was very tempted to pick up this Sansevieria variety. However, my dad, I believe, has 2 of them and I see them all the time. So I convinced myself that I didn't need it because I basically have it through him. I don't know, tell me if you guys can relate to that. Like, let me know if your friends or if your family love plants as much as you do, and if you see a plant enough, you almost feel like it's yours, even if it's not directly in your collection. I don't know, could be delusional. But in any case, these calatheas are gorgeous. Check them out. Holy moly, never mind. Check out the air roots on that plant. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, this place is fantastic. Another Aralia Fabian stump plant that was over there. Ooh, and a rubber. I love the rubber plants, the ficus rubber plants. They're fantastic. Earlier, I had mentioned that I did a live stream of me looking at the pottery. This is part of the pottery that I was checking out, and I was asking you guys kind of what you thought, because I needed a little bit of help matching some plantaroonies to some pottery. Oh my goodness, I think I see a wild Ryan on the loose. Hello, sir. I was so tempted by so many of these different calatheas that they had around here. Oddly enough, particularly the rattlesnake variety, simply because I don't have it and because it seems so common, but like in a good way. Does that make sense? Like where it's like harder to find, but you still see it everywhere and it still looks really cool. I don't know. In any case, I chose not to because I liked some other plants a little bit more. Moving on over, we have some cacti and succulents on display over here. Well, not display, but for sale over here. Well, actually, I guess on display too. I mean, they're on display for sale. Holy smokes, and there was another Aralia there. Did you see that? I did not realize how many Aralias this nursery had inside of it. I don't know how I overlooked that at first. It's so interesting how that happens. Actually, fun fact, after I rewatched and began editing this video, I ended up going back to the nursery a day or so later, and I picked up a couple more plants. I will do a plant haul with them very soon. Which does remind me, I want to take a very quick moment and note that whenever you purchase a plant from any nursery, to first of all, do your due diligence on what varieties you are picking up. In my experience, a lot of times these nurseries know which plants are going viral, which plants are really in demand, and very unfortunately try and upsell versions of it, which is so ridiculous. It's like black market plants almost, except not really, because that just sounds kind of weird. But what I mean is that they'll take a variety. For example, I got a peperomia. The woman told me that it was a watermelon peperomia. It most definitely wasn't, and I approached her about that. I said, actually, this definitely is not a watermelon peperomia. And then she proceeded to say how it's the closest that they'll get to it, and the price decreased on the plant. So It's always good to try very hard to inform yourself on these things because unfortunately sometimes things like that can happen. Ooh, look at that beautiful Japanese Fatsia. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. Love the leaves. Another thing I wanted to mention is to make sure to check for pests. I very unfortunately on my second plant haul, I'll go more into detail if you would like to hear more detail on it during the next plant haul. But I very unfortunately picked up a calathea that was completely infested with mealybugs. I hardly even thought to look at it, to be honest with you, so that was my mistake. But it still totally sucks, and it's something that you should definitely do every single time you purchase a plant, regardless of how much you love a particular place, trust a particular place, or how excited you are to see a particular plant. You should always examine what you are bringing in to your other plants at home. You want to make sure that you're spending money on healthy little plants to add to your collection, not to infest your collection. If you think you're interested in hearing about some more nursery tips or tricks or advice, please let me know in the form of a thumbs up, a comment, just inform me because very unfortunately I am not a mind reader, perhaps one day, but today is not that day, so getting your feedback truly makes a huge difference. I think there would be some great advice to share with those of you who are just starting out to build their collection, as well as hear from those of you who are more mature in their cultivation. I would like to hear your experiences as well, just to know if you've had similar problems. But what's not a problem is this beautiful curly Aralia stump plant. Alrighty, so we are all done checking out that nursery, and didn't I tell you it's fantastic? There were so many amazing plants to choose from. It was honestly extremely difficult just to choose the ones that I did. However, as always, I went with the ones that were like a hard yes, because if it's not a hard yes, then it's a hard no. And the rest I'll probably pick up another time in the future. But we're going to start off with one of my favorites finds, which is this fantastic succulent. I can't pronounce the name. As always, I will type it for you guys down below. I was in love with these like separated succulent little discs. They're about the size of perhaps like a large quarter, and they feel fantastic. I don't even know how to describe it. It's like gummy but hard and amazing, similar to like a jade leaf or something like that. So amazing, amazing find that I love very, very much. Next up, I found this amazing calathea. This plant was mislabeled, so I'm not going to say the incorrect name, but I wanted to take a quick moment to thank all of these people who did help me correctly identify the plant. I had been hunting to no avail for so long, and Juju Succulents made note of it on her story, which allowed Not Dude to answer it almost immediately, and it was just so relieving to know. I fell in love with it because of its variegated coloring on it. Let me show you the leaf specifically. This one right here. Ooh, it's not focusing. There we go. This leaf in particular is the one that I was immediately drawn to because of how, well, pale in comparison to the ones that are usually there. You don't usually see this type of coloring on it, and so I don't know the specific variety, but I will by the time that I upload this video, and I'll let you guys know, but I thought it was amazing. And as always, it has that beautiful reddish purple underside to the leaf as well. So beautiful plant, cannot wait to add it to the room. And the final plant that we purchased is this. I thought it was beautiful. I loved how long and scraggly these little shoots up were, and how fantastically wide and rotund the leaves were, and they have even little blooms, and the blooms feel sort of like they have like a velvety texture to it, which is something I personally have never felt before on a flower, except for maybe the lace flower cascading plant that might be kind of similar, but still not really. But it is a cardboard palm, and I've had very good luck with palms before. This one can go inside or outside, but it's gonna go inside because I want it in there with me. Quick side note. Do you see this? I don't know what incarnation is going on, but it looks like there's some sort of a UPS party that I was not invited to. There are 7 UPS trucks. 7! Never mind, it's 8, because there's one over here. Maybe everyone ordered plants. Those are all of the plants that we picked up today at the nursery. I hope you guys love checking out the nursery, and I hope you guys love the plants that I picked up. Comment down below which one was your favorite, or if I missed your favorite. Did I not pick it up? Because if I didn't, let me know, and then maybe I'll just buzz over there and just add it to the fam bam or something. So in any case, I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure to give it a subscribe so I know that you like this video, so I'll make more like it. It helps me help you. Okay,